Live from Smitty1.com studios, it's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Take a lap.
What is going on, good people? You are watching the Fantasy Football Show. I'm your man, Smitty, and boy, is Kyler Murray really getting in his own way right now. Kyler Murray issuing a letter, him and his agent issuing a letter to the Cardinals that basically demands money now. I want to be paid now. If I'm not paid now, essentially, I'm going to paraphrase what the letter says, and then I'm going to show it to you. But there are segments in this letter from this crybaby of a quarterback, and I say that as a Cardinal fan. I'm in Arizona. I live in Phoenix. The Cardinals are my team. I've been super critical of Kyler Murray in this situation. I've been super critical of where I rank Kyler Murray in fantasy football 2022 because I have him in the 6 to 8 range for quarterbacks, which a lot of people think is crazy. But this guy is creating this volatile. He's using words like volatile in terms of the NFL and why he wants a contract. He's creating a volatile environment within the Cardinals organization. And these things have a tendency to spiral out of control like they are right now. And Kyler Murray having a successful season seems a lot harder to imagine than him blowing up and having this amazing season that's going to earn him what he's asking for in advance after botching a end of the season last year, which wasn't entirely his fault. But when you don't show leadership and take accountability and show being a good teammate and a desire to win for your organization before you're getting paid, then I don't know what to say. Like, Kyler Murray's not the answer in Arizona. I've been screaming that from the rooftops for a long time now. We talked about it last year. Deshaun Watson, even with all the risk going on with Deshaun, I take it. I take it as a Cardinal fan. I'd rather have the risk that Deshaun Watson gets removed from the board entirely with his off-the-field problems surfacing, and then all of a sudden, boom, we don't have anybody at all. I'd rather take that shot because we can win than to go down the road that is Kyler Murray. Juice Box Kyler is what I'm currently going to call him because he's a crybaby. He's not a leader. He doesn't know how to mingle with his own teammates. He reportedly puts his ear pods in and literally sits in his locker, doesn't motivate his team, doesn't walk around slapping shoulder pads saying we're going to win this game. He's literally like he's playing a solo track and field event with no other teammates involved in the race. I'm just doing this by myself. I'm Kyler Murray. I am by myself. I am alone. I'm doing this all for me. And him going to the organization, which I'm going to show you this letter in a second. It's right here. This is the letter. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. Kyler Murray goes to this organization in so many words. I'm paraphrasing, but this is my interpretation of it, okay? This is my show. And Kyler Murray, and I could speak on this. I'm in Arizona. I have the pulse of the Cardinal fan base. I have the pulse of the Cardinals more than anybody. I'm telling you right now, the Cardinals don't want to pay him, which is why he's releasing the letter. A lot of people come to me and say, Smitty, they're going to pay him. They're going to pay him. What are you going to do? You have to have Kyler. He's good. They're going to pay him. I'm telling you, I'm in Arizona. This is why we're where we are. The Cardinals don't want to pay him. Do we want to pay him eventually? Yeah, and I'm on the Cardinals side. Let me remind you. Do they want to pay him eventually? Yeah, they do. But they want a quarterback that earns it. They want a quarterback that's not complaining and crying and whipping out his juice box and saying, give me the money even though I didn't earn it yet. And I'm not a good teammate, but give me the money anyway. If he was showing leadership, if he was going around the locker room hitting shoulder pads going, we're gonna come back, we're going to run it back next year. Hey, let's go out onto the field and snap this final play and kneel down as a team together. Or he didn't. Kyler Murray didn't go back into the playoff game when he was asked to go end the game with his teammates. They already lost. Go onto the field, end the game with your teammates. He said, no, I'm not going out there. You guys embarrassed me. You guys embarrassed me. The Cardinals embarrassed me. My teammates embarrassed me. You guys set me up for failure. This is essentially what Kyler was saying walking out of that season last year. And granted, Kyler Murray led the Cardinals on half of a season drive. that was literally the best. We were the best team in football for half of a year, and then we collapsed, which is also understandable. I'm not judging the Cardinals necessarily for falling apart. We lost DeAndre Hopkins. We had defensive injuries. Kyler Murray got a high ankle sprain, came back and still had to play through that. Look, we had reasons to fall apart, okay? I'm not mad at the Cardinals for falling apart. If you take Deebo Samuel off of the 49ers, if you take Devontae Adams off of the Packers, you guys fall apart too. Everyone's team is going to fall apart when you remove the number one offensive weapon on top of other defensive injuries, on top of Kyler, our number one quarterback option, and literally the most dangerous player on the field, gets a high ankle sprain. We miss multiple games. We get out of rhythm. It's all explainable, okay? It's all acceptable too. If Kyler Murray was to walk off the field and say, look, a bunch of bad things happened, we'll all corral together, we'll lift each other up, you've got this, Connor, come back, Hopkins, you'll be back, bro, we're gonna do this, and the team saw him do this. I bet you anything the Cardinals would be weighing their options right now going, look, he hasn't quite earned it, but he's showing some good leadership. We need to lock this guy up before another team says, hey, there's some potential here. The Cardinals did really good. He had a high ankle sprain. All of it's explainable. We like this kid. Instead of letting him use this fourth year up, then we extend him. We pick up that fifth year option, which we have control to do. He literally he's got his fourth year upcoming. He's got a fifth year option, which we can pick up. Then we can franchise tag him. So he's a ways away from becoming a free agent and having this discussion with us. And he's coming to the table 2 years early, even if we don't franchise tag him. So fourth year upcoming, fifth year option. We don't have to look at anything till 3 years from now. 3 years from now. So we don't have to do a thing. He's under contract. And yet he's crying and saying, I deserve the window office and I deserve a big raise, when the man literally came out and botched the TPS reports. This is like Bob from accounting saying, I know I botched the TPS reports earlier this morning and we lost the big account, but I want a window office and I want a big raise, and I'm not coming to work on more TPS reports until I get my raise and my window office. And I want it now. This guy is unbelievable. And I'm telling you, I keep getting people, I don't think anymore, but I was up until this letter. Smitty, they're going to pay him. They got to pay him. What else are they going to do? No, we don't have to pay him, nor do we condone his behavior and want to give this crybaby a bunch of money. He's probably going to ask for $50 million. 47 to 50 million a year. If you wanted 20, okay. But this dude is literally going to probably ask for 45, 50 million. He doesn't say it in the contract or the letter. He doesn't talk about what he wants his contract to be in the letter. He just says a lot of strange things. Let's break down the letter real quick. So in this letter, and I've highlighted some pieces on the left side which are ultra important. Like the very last statement of the entire letter that's in bold print. The very last statement, read it with me. And I have it on the top left. Kyler remains hopeful that the organization chooses to commit so that he can continue to lead the Cardinals. Essentially, that's a threat in so many words that he, in order to move forward and play for the Cardinals, needs to have this money. And I want it now! Give me my juice box. I want my juice box, and I want it right now. Right now. If I don't get it, I'm not coming to school. That's what he's saying. In bold, capital letters, he's saying it says Kyler remains hopeful. This is from his agent. That the organization chooses to commit so that he can continue. What's he going to do? Hold out? Maybe. And if he does, so be it. Cardinals, I'm urging you to trade this man And I don't know that you even can anymore. Who wants to get a crybaby juice box drinking quarterback that literally just continues to cry and complain and not be a team player or a motivator? Do you guys know that Joe Burrow, when he tore his ACL, there's stories circling around. I'm sure they're growing. The stories are growing into these massive, like, He-Man and Hercules stories that maybe they're getting fabricated and exaggerated, but I don't care because I love telling them. Joe Burrow tears his ACL. While he's rehabbing his ACL, he makes all of the individuals that are helping him with his knee rehab feel important, that they're a big part of the reason why they're going to go on and win the division and make a Super Bowl appearance, which no one knew at the time, but I'm sure Joe Burrow's like, you Steve, you Margaret, you Billy Boy, all of you who are working on my knee, getting me back to full go, you are all going to have a hand in making the Bengals grow and improve. And if I'm supported and I'm 100%, we can all go out there and win a Super Bowl. And everybody's probably, I just picture it. I know it's not how it probably happened, but I picture everybody picking up Joe Burrow and marching him around the physical therapy room and just literally clapping and screaming. Joe Burrow bringing in donuts and flowers and just showering everybody with motivation and let's do this. Let's rehab this knee. Like the stories I hear about Joe Burrow lifting players up, lifting personnel up, lifting staff members and rehab people up is crazy. When you look at Kyler Murray's juice box rants and his crybaby mentality and his going into the corner of his locker by himself, putting in earbuds and blaming the world and saying, me, 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 me. Me, 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 me. Me, me, me. Everything's about me. I'm Kyler Murray. Everything's about me. I'm a Cardinal fan. I can say all this, okay? This kid is a crybaby. He's not worth $50 million a year. It feels like something that it's not going to work out with him eventually long term. He might quit and go play baseball. He's constantly wanting to break up with us. Constantly. This entire letter feels like an ultimatum breakup letter. Hey, if you want to have me play for you, you have to commit. Then this second quote that I have right here is also very critical. In bold letters, the second, so you have this one right here is the bottom bold final statement. This right here, it says, actions speak much louder than words in this volatile business, which is just absolutely insane, because this is the man that took all the Cardinals photos and everything relating to the Cardinals off of his social media, which in fairness, the Cardinals did it back to him and they shouldn't have. I'm sure whoever did that got fired. Actions speak, I'm sorry, AirPods. Did I say earbuds? AirPods, whatever. Actions speak louder than words in this volatile business. This is the man, Kyler Murray, that literally stripped his entire team from his social media platforms. And I have some people say, because he unfollowed the Cardinals, we think, and I have people that actually come to me. The nerve on some people to actually DM me, waste my time during my day. Send me a DM on Instagram that I check and I see, and they go, hey, Smitty, smart boy, you fool, Smitty. He wasn't following the Cardinals before. You were reporting wrongly. He didn't unfollow the Cardinals. He never was following the Cardinals. As if that's better. That's probably worse. That is probably worse. At least if he unfollowed him, he was kind of mad at the moment. He ripped everything off his social media and he's like, I'm going to unfollow you for a second, even though I want to follow you. If he was literally not following the Cardinals beforehand, it's even worse. It even shows how much disrespect and lack of commitment he has for the Cardinals if he literally was not following the Cardinals beforehand. You gotta be out of your mind. That drives me crazy when people say that. Even worse if he wasn't following the Cardinals. Absolutely ridiculous. This kid is ridiculous. He's 25 years old? What is he, 25? He's 25, right? Acts like he's 15. We're 20, it says it in the letter. I think he's 20. God, this kid is driving me nuts. Kyler Murray, here, let me read some of this to you. Let me read the beginning. Kyler wants to be direct. Yeah, Kyler wants to be direct with loyal Arizona Cardinal fans and the great community of the Valley in stating his two very important goals and objectives. Number one, he absolutely wants to be your long-term quarterback. Absolutely crazy. How old is Kyler? Why am I blanking on Kyler's age? Kyler Murray is... He's 24. I am correct. So he's 24 years old. So he absolutely wants to be your long-term QB. That's bullet point number one. Bullet point number two. He desperately wants to win a Super Bowl. Well, it certainly shocks me to hear that, because this juice box drinking crybaby that puts his AirPods in and sits solo in his cubicle, which is his locker. So we're picturing this man like Bob from accounting. He's sitting in his cubicle, aka his locker, with his AirPods in, completely isolated from his teammates, doing his TPS reports, and he screws up his TPS reports, spills his milk and juice box all over the TPS reports. Then he marches into his boss's office and says, "I just ruined all of the TPS reports, but I'd like a raise in a corner window office, and I want it yesterday. I want it yesterday. I want it now, and I want it yesterday. If you don't deliver the corner window office and a new juice box, I want a new, brand new, unopened juice box. I spilled mine. I want a juice box, and I want it now, and if I get it now, I might come back and win a championship with you. I still could play baseball. I'm not sure yet. It depends. I don't want to get hit. I don't like getting hit. Getting hit is very bad. I don't like it." This crybaby, and who wrote this letter? His agent. And yeah, and again, a lot of people have said this. Who writes a letter in all caps? Who writes a letter in all caps? It just adds to the dynamic of yelling and screaming and complaining and crying, all in capital letters. Like, when I read this, I think Kyler wants to be direct and loyal with his Cardinal fan base. He absolutely wants to win a Super Bowl. He absolutely wants to be your quarterback. But, I won't. I'll abandon you if you don't pay me what you shouldn't have to pay me right now. But I want it now. I want it up front. I want a juice box for life up front, or I'm not returning. I'm not returning. That's what this is saying. Will he ultimately hold out? He'll probably try, but then he'll come back because it's too expensive and costly to hold out in today's NFL. They've made it so that if you want to hold out, you lose so much money. People could do it, but will he do it? I don't think he's maybe he is lacking the intelligence to know that holding out would be disastrous for him. Go play baseball, Kyler. Go play baseball. See how quickly you rise up. See how long it takes you. See if you're any good anymore. You probably lost every bit of edge you had because you don't play baseball right now, Kyler. I know you think you can play baseball. I know a lot of people that were pretty good at baseball before they played professional football think they can just walk back in and be a pro baseball player. Go try it, Kyler. Go try it. I dare you. I'd actually enjoy that a little more than I enjoy this right now. Not to mention, I'm in a weight loss on my. If you go to my main YouTube homepage, you scroll to the bottom, you'll see my other YouTube channels, my other channels that I'm involved in, that I own or whatever. And one of them is my vlog channel, and I'm doing a weight loss 30-day challenge thing. And I'm hangry. I haven't eaten yet. I'm hangry, and I've got to deal with Kyler Murray's crap right now, and is crying and complaining. And I see him drinking a juice box. I can't have a juice box right now. I can't have anything but water. I'm fasting right now. And this man's drinking a juice box right in front of me, crying and complaining, and I'm hangry. I am hangry. This is the wrong time for this. Okay, despite all of Kyler's energy being focused on the future. yeah, that's all he's doing, is sitting there in his cubicle. Here's my workout, by the way. Fast for 1 week, run a mile, sit-ups. This is the whole plan right here. Not only is this man literally complaining in front of us right now, not focusing on the future, actually focusing on abandoning us. He has the nerve to say he's focusing on the future. He's very proud of the franchise extreme turnaround in competitiveness and success since his arrival. Such a pat on the back, this guy. Like, I'm so proud of what Kyler's done, the team turning around, and how Kyler's been in charge of all of that. Kyler's had everything to do with all of it. All of it. He's so proud of this turnaround that he's concocted. This has been all Kyler. This letter is like out of Bizarro world. Like, number one, his agent should be fired. If for any reason he was the architect of this. Number two, if Kyler came in and said, I want you to write this letter, it reminds me of Kanye West right now. The level of thinking this guy's at, like Kanye wants to buy the world. Kanye said before, I want to own the planet. I want to buy the planet. I want to own the planet. Like, just totally out there. Totally out there. This reminds me of, this is a letter Kanye West would write. This is a letter that Kanye West would write the Arizona Cardinals. I want to buy the franchise so that I can give myself a bigger contract. This guy is out of his mind. And if his agent went rogue, kind of, then he needs to get a new agent. And if Kyler Murray went to his agent and said, I want you to write a Kanye West type letter, and his agent did it, his agent needs to be fired still, because I would have said you were crazy and you're going to sabotage your entire career. I don't care if you're my client or I work for you, Kyler. I'm not writing this stupid letter and ruining my reputation, writing this garbage here. Looking ahead, Kyler believes that in order to consistently compete for championships, like plural, like in order for us to win, 3 out of the next 4 years, and ultimately deliver the Valley their first Super Bowl in 33 plus years. I love the digs too. They're like digging at you guys are nothing without Kyler Murray. If you want championships and you haven't had them for 33 years, you haven't had them for 33 years. The Valley's first Super Bowl in 33 years. There needs to be a long-term stability for both the organization and himself to overtly communicate Kyler's. Look, we have something long-term. It's called his 4th year and a 5th year option, and then potential franchise tagging. Okay? I understand Kyler wants the bag. You're not going to get it, little boy. You're not going to get it, Juice Box Kyler. You're not going to get it. Not this way. You maybe could have convinced the Cardinals to go out on a limb and give you the bag. Give you something in the range of like $40 million even. Or whatever. I know you want the highest quarterback. You're out of your mind, Kyler. You are out of your mind. But let's say you were to come in and say, hey, team, we're going to do it. Pat people on shoulder pads, give good speeches, motivate, take out the AirPods and start communicating with your team. Stop talking about I, me. You want a championship? You want a championship? I can deliver it. Stop with the letters. Stop with the BS and show work ethic, show leadership. I bet you the Cardinals would have, about midway through the offseason, been like, let's lock him down. Let's lock the man down. We can keep him without doing anything. He's under contract. We don't need to do anything. We can keep him for his 4th year, which is upcoming, and a 5th-year option, and then franchise tag the hell out of him if we really wanted to. But my guess is if we franchise tagged a baby like this, he wouldn't play. He'd rather sit and not play. I don't know what to think. I said it from the beginning. People argue with me. Trade him. Trade him. Now look, what are you going to do? Now we can't trade him. No one's going to take this crybaby now. I said trade him. I said trade him for, I would have traded him for Tyler Huntley. And everybody said I was crazy. I'm telling you, this kid is toxic now. No one's going to want him. The packages we could maybe still try Houston. Houston would maybe get rid of Watson if we give him Kyler in a 1st rounder. Will Kingsbury do it? Are they fed up with it? Offer the Texans a 1st rounder and Kyler Murray. I'd give up more if I had to. The Cardinals win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years. 1 Super Bowl in the next 2 years with Deshaun Watson on roster instead of Kyler Murray. Deshaun Watson throwing to his former teammate DeAndre Hopkins, who I'm sure would love to have Deshaun Watson come in place of Kyler Murray. I can guarantee you Hopkins would be like, oh my God, do it. Let me give some of my money. I'll restructure. What do we got to do? Give up multiple 1st rounders. Kyler, you are selfish. Kyler, you are a baby. Kyler, you don't know what you're talking about. The Cardinals, yes, media, get out of here with your 49ers slanted takes, media. You know I support the Niners. I always support the Niners. Stop talking like you can't win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson in Arizona, bro. You're about as slanted right now as Kyler's stance with your stance, media. I'm not in the mood. I'm hangry. I haven't eaten at all, media, and you're going to come in here and tell me the Cardinals can't win a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson? I'm too hangry for this right now, media. I'm too hangry to deal with this right now, media. I can't handle it. Kyler Murray, you are Smitty disapproved.
You've just been Smitty disapproved.
I will see you all at 7 p.m. Eastern. This has been an emergency live stream. And, yeah. So, congratulations, Cardinal fans. We got such an awesome mess on our hands. Thanks, Kyler.